The Sciforror Film Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another extra episode of the Sciforror Film Podcast. I'm Andy Walker, and this episode I am joined by actor, producer, writer Jay Shurey.
Hello.
Hi Jay, how you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, fine, thank you very much. Thank you for being on the show.
You're very welcome.
Now, I will start off, as I do with everybody, just a little bit of background of how you got into acting and producing and writing, and more specifically, how you got into the making, being involved in making horror and sci-fi stuff.
Okay, so I started. Like many people, really at a young age, wanting to really get involved and being fixated with it. I mean, making films with friends, amateur productions, and that sort of thing. But always knowing that it wasn't just for fun. Although I enjoyed the process, I was always wanting to get to a professional level with what I was doing and having this aspect that I was never going to stop until I got there. So although some friends obviously went off and got proper jobs, and treated always what we were doing as a hobby, I always wanted to break into the industry and get to that particular stage where I could work professionally with what I was doing. So it was around about 2015, that kind of time, where I started first of all getting involved in crowdfunding projects. So going on the various different crowdfunding websites and putting my name out there, because not only to obviously help those particular projects in sort of their construction and getting things made, but also because that enabled the networking process of being able to get in touch with these other filmmakers that were all at various different stages in what they were doing. And what that led was for me to be able to meet some amazing film creatives like Jamie Langlands, Richard Anthony Dunford, and Christian Paris. All of those individuals through that process of, first of all, just wanting to put some money for them to be successful, but then talking with them and going through what their aims were, what their objectives were, and seeing how I could help with them in the various projects. And that really got us basically to where we still are today, where we've established that network. We work with each other on various different projects. And so, in 2018, I became a professional filmmaker, and that was how it all started, really.
Cool. And I mean, was it something you were always drawn to, as far as like the sci-fi and horror stuff, or was it something you came to later on?
I think I've always been interested in science fiction, particularly, but also horror as well. I mean, throughout my teenage years and adulthood, horror was a big go-to genre for me. I don't know why, really. It just was something I liked. Perhaps the construction of it, because obviously horrors, they all typically follow a similar narrative that comes with the genre. And I just liked that particular type of construction, the way, particularly in slasher films, the kind of slasher films where you have to almost play along and try to suss out who the killer is. Obviously, we did something slightly different in R.I.P. Man, which was that you knew who the killer was throughout. So sometimes, obviously, that does happen in some. But I do like the horrors where it keeps you guessing and there's a lot of enigmas that are raised within that. But I love science fiction, particularly, I would say, because um, you've got free reign in as a construction. You can basically do whatever you like. It's your universe to create.
Yeah.
So as a writer and producer director, I love that particular genre because you're not being dictated to about how you construct a piece. You can put whatever elements because you can say in my universe, this happens or that happens. People are
Yeah.
blue. Or everyone walks around with top hats or something because that's what's created. You can put any ruling you like, and
Yeah.
because it's
Oh,
your universe. So I like that. I like to have more creative control in the construction process, and science fiction is, I think, arguably the genre that you can do that the most.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I noticed that if going through your list of the films and things you've been involved in on IMDb, I've noticed there's a lot of things listed on there that are listed as TV series or
Hmm.
and podcast series. What are they actually? What were they or are they available to watch on?
So some of them are available on YouTube. So particularly the early films and series that I created very long time ago. It's I think early 2000s was when most of those were around. So a lot of those are available on YouTube by putting in those names of those series and short films. The podcasts, so they're the radio things that were done, and I did that. Most of that started around 2018, and yeah, so a lot of those are available on the different streaming audio streaming services. Done quite a few of those. The Lucky Die is one that I'm more prolifically known for as a
Yeah,
voice actor, where I play the character of Emil Scott, who is sort of a scientist, and he's a bit crazy, but he's also dead, which makes him very interesting.
yeah.
I've had other roles in different pieces. Another one which is called Dark Dice, which is another big podcast. A lot of people know Dark Dice because it's got a particular famous celebrity that plays one of the characters called Jeff Goldblum,
Oh, okay, cool.
and he plays one of those. We never worked together in an episode, which I think was a shame, but we are both in that series,
Oh, that's cool.
and that was a lot of fun to work amongst with the narrative crossing over between what he was doing and what my characters were doing as well. So that was fun. I love doing that. I love the audio drama that I do, um, and the acting that goes with that because I do it all from here with this microphone in this studio.
Right.
And yeah, it's a lot of fun to get into characters for an audio recording.
Yeah, no, that sounds cool. That sounds very good. Now, I mean, the films that we have covered on our podcast that you have been involved in, we've got the RAP Man,
Yeah,
obviously, with it, and Goliath,
yeah.
which we reviewed a little while ago. Um, so what was your involvement on the RAP Man apart from being in it?
So I was assistant producer, so I was working closely with Jamie and
Oh,
Reese on the construction of the film and sort of the involvement within that, as well as the publicity and a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But a lot of the police station mise en scène was sort of my baby, as it were,
okay.
in terms of what I did. So all of the wanted posters I created, any of the Polaroids. So you see quite a few Polaroid photographs in the film. Those are all mine. So I created those for the film. So a lot of that, all of the reports, all of the folders that you see in the police station, basically all of those props was my design for that particular part of it. But yeah, a lot of the publicity, getting the promotion out there, all of the material, any of the like the adverts that we were putting out for that film, I created along with Jamie and Reese, who signed them off.
Oh, that's cool. And I mean, I'm assuming that you are doing similar sort of things for the sequel, the RIP Band 2, which they're working on at the moment, or which must be
Yes.
coming towards being finished, I would have thought.
Yes, there was a filming day today. So that I know that they were filming today. I unfortunately had other priorities today, so I wasn't able to go on set. But in the RIP Man, I was only on set for one or two of the days of filming. But for the sequel, I'm much more heavily involved.
Okay.
I'm a co-producer on the sequel instead of assistant producer, and so I'm very much involved in that. I'm also involved in the casting as well. There's quite a few of the cast for the new RIP Man 2 that are former students of mine
Oh,
or associates of JQS Films. So Tilly Murray
yeah.
is one of my former students and part of a, sort of an after service of the tutoring business that I do is to get any of the actors that are on my courses into films that I'm connected with
Right.
so that I can help them to push them onto the further steps in their career. So Tilly was a student of mine, and she's now gone on to do the R.I.P. Man 2. She's also in another film of mine called The Tree That Fell,
Yeah,
which
I
I,
was going to say
which
because she talked to us about the RIP Man, and she mentioned Tree That Fell.
yeah. So it's great. That's my environmental film where the actors have written poetry for that, and another. So three of the actors from The Tree That Fell are also in the R.I.P. Man 2, because we've also got Zola Blades,
Yeah.
who is another former student of mine, and she's
Okay.
in the R.I.P. Man 2. She plays a gothic girl, a sort of a friend of one of the main characters. And Caitlin Cameron, who is a long-term friend of mine, who is basically 90% of the films that we do, the pair of us, we're both in together in
Okay.
either in a cast and crew way or one or the other. But
Right.
she's in both. Well, she's in Goliath. She's in the R.I.P. Man 2. She's in The Tree That Fell. She's in quite a few of the projects. I think that you've been having a look at.
Yes.
But yeah, but it's just part of an after. Like I say, with regards to my students, it's a sort of just a particular thing that I like to try and do is to get them furthering in their careers, sort of
No,
pushing
that's
them
cool.
forward.
That's good. That's good. That's really good. So I mean, was your involvement in Goliath with Christian Paris, was that the same sort of thing, or was it a different type of?
I would say I was more heavily involved in Goliath than the R.I.P. Man 2. I was on all but one of the days of shooting on set as one of the producers on that film.
Okay.
So yeah, one of the main producers. I was also a script consultant. I was doing behind the scenes photography. I had a little cameo in the film as well. So that was quite fun. But yeah, and all of the website and again all of the a lot of the props, the Polaroids in that as well, were ones that I constructed to use in the film. The newspapers that you see, so a lot of the props from multiple different scenes, I put together.
Right.
But yeah, so I was quite heavily involved in Goliath, more so than the R.I.P. Man 2.
Um, and I was going to say you know, you wear different hats at different times. If you like, you're writing things, you're producing things, you're acting them.
Yeah.
Which one of those do you kind of prefer?
Oh, that's a good question because there's different levels of enjoyment with each of the different processes. Producing is sort of honing a lot of the business side of things, of putting things, and it is another one of my happy places because when you're producing a product and the product does well, then there's an awful lot of joy that you can get out of that. That you've managed to put something together. So I think from terms of producing, it's more of the after effect that gives the most enjoyment. Once it's all together, that's where you really are sort of happy, and you can look back at it and say, yes, it's all come together, and it can go off. When I'm writing, I think the enjoyment is actually in the moment when you're putting that script together, when you're writing that screenplay, and all the creative elements are there in the moment as you're writing the piece together. So for me, with the writing, it's more of in that moment when you're writing the piece. That's and you're feeling the story come to life. That's where the enjoyment comes from that. And then with acting, again, I think that's more of in the moment because you're putting all your channeling all your energy to the presentation of a particular character,
Yeah.
and it's more of the enjoyment of that moment. So yeah, so acting and writing, enjoying at the time that you're doing it, and then producing more of after it's all said and done, and you'll be able to reflect on it and go, yes,
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing that.
Do you ever, I mean, as as somebody who has written a fair amount of stuff as well, do you ever, when you are working either as an actor or a producer on a film, um, see things in scripts and think to yourself, "Oh, that doesn't work," and if you are you then able to um, suggest changes or anything that or would you not feel comfortable making those suggestions?
I think it depends on where I am and what position I am. I'm always very much conscious of my role on the set and what the suggestion, how much of the suggestion is taking away something from the process of what the director is putting together. You know, it's more of that. I don't really like putting or speaking too heavily with creative directions because, otherwise I feel that, I'm overstepping
Yeah,
sometimes. But if it's a choice that I feel is the benefit of everything and that overarches everything else, then I'm quite happy to say something. If I'm lead producer on a project, then, I will say I feel much more comfortable with saying, I think we need to do this or need to do that, or, we need to change this line here, or we need to do another take of here from perhaps a different camera angle to give options.
right,
So I think a lot of it is exactly that, the word I've just said, options. So if I make a suggestion on set, it is an addition to what else is being done. I won't say you can't do that.
right.
I will say, okay, let's do that, but let's also do it this way, and then leave it up to the director to then having both or multiple options in their hand in the edit suite to go, okay, here's what I did, here's the alternative which Jay suggested, and then let them sort of analyze and work out which way they wish to go.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's the fairer way because you don't want to like keep saying to a director, "Oh no, do it this way, do that," because you don't want to dishearten them because that's going to have an overall effect on your product. It's
yeah,
going to reduce it because if they're not feeling as sort of with it as they were to begin with, because you've kept telling them that they need to do this, that, and the other, then it's going to downgrade your product that you're going to produce. So
yeah.
I go at it from that perspective.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Have you ever wanted to just take hold of the? I mean, not necessarily one that you've been involved in, but just take hold of the reins, right? Of everything, and completely direct your own film that you write and produce and direct.
Yeah, I mean, The Tree That Fell is kind of my first looking into doing that because I'm actually directing alongside Morgan Andrews, who is the DP on, well, both The Tree That Fell and the R.I.P. Man 2
Right.
and multiple other ones that we've done together. But so we're partnering in director's duties on that but it's a short film. I don't think, and it's a very micro short. It's like 5 minutes. I don't think I would direct anything beyond that duration of time
Okay.
because it's where I think my producer hat reigns supreme in terms of my viewpoint when I'm looking at a product. My first short film that I did, which was Betrayed, which was 20 minutes long, it was because of that length of time, the duration of the film. I didn't want to direct because I knew to get the best result of the product, I would want someone with a higher caliber of experience and expertise in order to position themselves in that role. So I would be
Mm.
happy to write and produce, but not to direct, because I felt that if I sort of was selfish and went, okay, I'm going to direct this as well, that would lessen the product and,
Okay.
you know, downgrade it for everyone.
Yeah.
So I think I always approach every product and project with that particular mind frame, that I sit down and I work out how best to calibrate, the different members of the crew, the different casts, for the project, um, to make the better overall product, that's going to benefit for everyone. So I'm always thinking about everyone that's involved in the product, because it's their reputation as well, by association, by it being attached to it. I want it to be a good product for them to be proud of, and to do them good with whatever they go on to.
Yeah. No, okay. Okay. No, I get that completely. So apart from The Tree That Fell and the R.I.P. Man 2, you have got a few other things which I see are in kind of like post-production, or some of them are still filming. What ones can you tell us about?
So we have just, about a month ago, we finished shooting on Amelia,
Yeah.
which is an addiction story, with vampire undertones,
Okay.
on it. So it's kind of got a bit of everything, but at its heart, it's a story about addiction. And I've been working with some great people on that. Been working with Caitlin again, as I say, we always work together on projects. A lovely lady called Daisy Boyden,
Yeah.
who we worked together on Ghoul Squad, which was another film that we did last year. It's sort of a comedy mockumentary, and we worked with her on there. And it was actually in the casting process for Amelia that it was Caitlin who put Daisy forward, and Daisy auditioned along with many others and blew it out the park, and gave such an amazing performance. So we put her in the role. We got her in the role. But it's a wonderful story. There's elements of horror within it. There are murders within it,
Yeah.
as you would expect with that particular genre. But it's very clever. It's a very clever story, and Luke Mepham, who is the writer director of that one.
Yeah.
um,
I interviewed Luke the other day, and he was telling me about it.
Yeah, so it's a great story, and he's done amazing work with that, and really proud to be producer on that, with him, and we look forward to getting that out there as soon as we possibly can.
Yeah. No, that sounds good.
Um, so other ones, we've got Grayson Vale,
Yep.
which is it's another short film. Well, I think we've got the runtime about 15 to 20 minutes at the moment, but
Okay.
it's mental health focused. So the idea is it's a guy who is struggling with grief and wants to take his own life, and how a platonic meeting of people helps him within that situation. So, and it's an amazing piece. We did awful lot of research for that particular project with people, including people that have been in that position themselves in real
Right.
life. So we had consultants on that. We had some amazing cast within that particular piece. And the idea is that what we're going to do with that, as well as it going into festivals, we also have open forums. So we do showings at locations. People come along, and then we show the film, and then we have a discussion about
Right.
what we can do to help other people in need, sort of, who are going through this particular situation.
Oh, that's good.
So it's almost like a centerpiece for other things that are going on, in people's lives. But so that's another one, that I'm very proud of, to be associated with,
Yeah.
and be working with people on that film.
Yeah. That sounds really good.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, which other ones I've got uh, that I've been working on, because there are
Well,
some.
I've got the ones I had on my list was automatic, which and last train out.
Last Train Out, wonderful. Okay, so Last Train Out, that is a science fiction dystopia. It's another short film,
Okay.
and really enjoyed being part of that as both one of the producers and also I play a character within that film as well. But yeah, it's been lovely to work in science fiction because it has been a long time since until I was offered this particular role. It had been a long time without working in that particular field, but it has been wonderful to be doing that. And we went to an escape room to film some of the scenes because we had there was a science fiction themed escape room, and
Oh,
it was great to work in that. That was in Brighton that we filmed that, but it was great working with Scott on that writer director Scott Reed, and we also worked. I also worked with Leo, who was wonderful in that particular one. Leo Sakamoto, who was part of the production, but also played the male lead in that.
okay.
And again, it was a great cast. And again, yes, I was working with Caitlin on that one as well. Basically, yeah, there's no point saying it really because every film we tend to work together. But that was very different, and a lot of CGI as well in that. So very CGI heavy because it's science fiction. You've got like monorails that in the future,
Yeah.
flying everywhere, and yeah, it was a lot of fun working on that one. And hopefully that one's not out yet. It's still in post, but hopefully we'll have that out soon. And automatic. I mean that was a fun little project. I wasn't involved in that much, but I did do a little part in it. There was a call center, and I was playing another call center agent.
Okay.
As I previously played one a couple of years earlier in a film called The Caller, which was called Menacious, and then they wanted to change the title to The Caller. That was a great film. We worked with Colin Baker from Doctor Who and Eric Roberts. So that was a lot of fun working on that project.
Yeah.
But yeah, so quite a few in the pipeline, and quite a few that we've been working on, and but it's been amazing.
So, I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know, but those will be kind of finished and out for the kind of festival runs next year.
Yes, absolutely, and I'm hoping that they will get into some local festivals. So I tend to be quite busy most of the time, doing pretty much this, that, and the other. So if we can get it into some local ones, that'd be nice because I won't have far to go and more chance of me actually getting there.
Well,
Um,
I had the pleasure of seeing I mean, I've seen the R.I.P. Men for us to review it, but I had the pleasure of seeing it at the Romford Film Festival because it was
oh,
shown
brilliant!
there.
A couple of days ago, yeah.
Yeah, and it was really interesting seeing it on the big screen rather than watching it on a computer, because I was saying at the time, and I mentioned to a couple of people about it, that the difference for me was that I noticed far more um, the use of silences in the film to
Hmm.
build atmosphere, because when you're in a cinema and you've got that big sound system, when that sound drops out and there's nothing there, you notice it a lot more than you do when you're watching it on TV or
Hmm.
on that. And I was really impressed with the way that silence was used in the film to build atmosphere. And I think for me, I think that's one of the problems sometimes with modern films is that they don't use enough sort of atmosphere building like that, and there's far too much reliance on shock and sort of jump scares.
Hmm.
And it was really nice to see people using that.
Oh, thank you. And I think that's also credit to Jamie. It's part of, I suppose, of his film style, really, that he applies that because it's exactly what we did with The Cellar as well.
Yeah,
Is we worked a lot of that non-diegetic elements into the piece to create that suspense, and I think it comes off quite well. In that it does leave you sort of not really knowing and adding into that sort of false sense of security. You never know when something's going to happen
yeah.
because you've got nothing to guide you.
And it does make any jump scares you do have, or it doesn't even have to be that much of a jump scare, but it makes it more impactful because of the fact you haven't got, as you say, you haven't got cues or anything as to what's going on. You just don't know when it's going to happen.
Hmm.
I think it's very good. I was really impressed by that. Okay, thank you very much for being on the show. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah,
I'm looking
likewise.
forward to seeing as many as your films as I
Mhm.
can coming up on the festival circuit. I'm very interested by The Tree That Fell and by The Last Train Out,
Yeah,
which they sound very interesting, and I'm very interested to see what happens with those. Um, Good luck to you with everything you are doing now and that
thank
you do
you.
in the future. We'll keep an eye on what you do. I will put, as I always do, links to Jay's social media so that people can check up on what's going on with his career and what's going on with the films he's working on, and check them out. And as I say, have a look for his stuff on YouTube and that sort of thing, so you can see his older stuff as well. Thank you, Jay. It's been great talking to you.
Likewise.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone out there for listening and watching, and we will be back again soon. Thank you. Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.